Hello guys, good evening and welcome back once again to another crypto live session with Crypto with me. I'm Ryan, and of course for tonight, we'll see here what's happening now with the crypto market outlook. Okay, so should we see BTC continues to rally all the way to 80.82, maintaining that level as support to continue its rally, or should we see a massive correction? Okay, and probably to retest at 72K to trade the lower high that everyone is expected to. Okay, because I think many of us have thought of that, so they did not expect the pump. Okay, so I think everyone wants to enter, wants to have some skin in the game, right? So everyone is waiting for the higher lows to be played out. Okay, so what we can see right now, probably this divergence also can able to help BTC get this push, okay, for the month of September. But usually the month of September is one of the worst performing month. Let's see, because we had July and August are already in the green month. So should we see September to have another green month? Probably, okay. But I think it is already due for correction with the kind of candle that we are looking at. Okay, 3 weekly candles in a row, non-stop, monstrous movement towards the upside. So a much pullback or much bigger is much expected in the coming days or probably this week and leading up to the end of the month for August. Okay. So after a powerful almost 20% is right. So already paid to almost 79K. Okay. And then again, this backdrop, BTC 1% intraday pullback could point to a supply zone forming near EK. Okay. As some of the short-term holders took profit off the table. Okay, so this is the critical resistance now. This is a make it or break it for BTC. Whether or not to maintain 80K of level of support, around 82 will be much preferred. Or should we see a pullback? Okay, a much expected pullback that will lead us somewhere around 70, 72. Okay, for a higher low. Okay, so to summarize the divergence between price and sentiment. So although this still short term, as caught analyst attention, raising speculation about the potential manipulation traffic development underneath Bitcoin's price action. Okay, so we had the Scott Bessent mentioning about the buybacks of the bond treasury. So this actually pushed the crypto market even more higher during that time after that speech as well. Okay, all right. And what else to expect later on? Okay, so the cool down appears to have had little effect on the demand. Right, in fact, ETFs have bought the lion's share of BTC in the past few days. The on-chain spot bids forming around 80K are still holding up. Okay, all right. So our bigger players deliberately cooling sentiment to shake out big hands before a potential move back. Okay, so I'm pretty much sure. I don't think we are going to really breach into. Okay, I think most likely there could be a hiccup there, or probably profit taking scenario rather than pushing even more towards the upside. But nonetheless, market can be able to surprise us. Okay. And of course, we look at the fear and greed index as well. Okay. We are already at a great situation. And how much more should we see for a pullback? So as history has shown, it is at peak of euphoria that Bitcoin tends to top. Therefore, it's highly possible that the price will encounter resistance around 82K in short term. Considering that the F&G index only needs to register 6 more points to enter the extreme territory. So if you look at the historical data of BTC, the monthly returns, okay, so we had July and August, so far green month. And then the last time we had on July, August is when 2021, 2020, and 2017, 2013. So after that, what happened? We closed green on August for July, August. The next month is you tend the red month for September. So if we're going to play out this, I think we'll expect a much realistic pullback or correction. So last one was about what, 7%, 7.51. Okay, then we have 7.44, and then the 2013 was 1%, 1.76. So less than 10%. Of a correction for the month of September. So if that's the case, then I think this could be a much higher low pullback that everyone is expected to really take advantage of the Bitcoin dip. Okay, and then following by last 3 months of the year, October all the way to December. So we should see some positive movement. Okay, if history were to play out all the way, right? And we have one of October, one of the best performing month. It's almost 40% of 2021. And then 2020, we had 27.7%. Okay, so this is the setup here, the expectation that it's going to happen. Maybe it might happen as well, but probably if you look at the market, it's already maturing. So diminishing returns, diminishing drawdown also expected to happen as well. Okay, so as long as the underlying demand remains strong, Bitcoin could be poised for a strong early September jump that will put it on track for potentially fourth straight bullish September. Okay, so this makes the divergence a key signal to watch. So it's all about bullish divergence, but whether or not this bullish divergence is going to play out, it will be a negative. Okay, so let's see. Okay, a lot of those people who are saying that the bottom is in, okay, people are even more confident that this time is going up without any retracement. So we're going to see. Market tends to surprise me. And then now talk about September. Okay, don't forget we have the FOMC meeting as well by Kevin Warsh. This also could be a make it or break it for the market. Okay, so Bitcoin track record equals Y is bad news for September. I already have shown you the past historical data on the chart. Okay, July, August, if it's green, then usually September tends to have a pullback. So I will expect a pullback on September. Because I think we have already went up quite drastic, okay, the movement on the weekly candle. Okay, non-stop, right? Isn't it? After the announcement. So yeah, we can see here, 30th January, right, on Friday, Trump officially nominated the FOMC Federal Reserve Chairman, okay, Kevin Warsh. Okay, so instead of reducing the rate, they're still maintaining the rate. Okay, so there could be a high chance that there could be a rate hike, but until now, still undisclosed. Okay, and of course, we look at cryptocurrency liquidation history as well. Okay, so price slide saw about 2.4 billion long position liquidated across market compared to 154.7 million short positions. Okay, all right. So what is a Fed interest rate and why does it matter to crypto as well? So all eyes on FOMC, right? So important on next month. Okay, whether will they continue with retaining of interest rate or probably to cut or to even hike. Okay, all right. So raising rates is typically bearish for risk asset, okay, especially for crypto. So it makes borrowing costs higher to pull down inflation. Rate cuts have the opposite effect, making capital cheaper to stimulate growth, which is really bullish for crypto. Okay. And then talking about QE, right? Quantitative easing, which is to buy assets to inject capital into the system. So this is what happens during COVID-19 as well. Okay. All right. Stock market down. Okay. Everything is down. And then they have no choice but to introduce QE, quantitative easing. Okay. To cover back the economy as well. So leading to a surge in risk appetite and helping fuel Bitcoin's run as well. So these are the scenarios, right? Now, what happens if we choose quantitative tightening, QT, instead of QE? So I think we are still in the midst of QT at the moment. Okay, so to reduce its balance sheet and withdraw liquidity, rising inflation in 2022 saw the Fed decide to raise interest rates aggressively while also pursuing QT, which is also very bad for the market. So QT and increase of interest rate is what we want. So if they can able to reduce the interest rate and to pivot from QT to QE to quantitative easing, so that's where I think it's going to be a massive move for the markets to continue to push, and the conviction and of course the retail will definitely come in even add more. So looking at all this, right, Bitcoin versus the interest rate decisions for this year alone. Okay, so how many have we cut? I think about 1 or 2 this year so far, right? Recorded. From Jerome Powell. Okay, yet okay, right. So these are the things that to expect for this year as well. So September, and then after that leading up by November. So I think we've got another 2 or 3 more meetings. But the chances of reducing the rate, I don't think is going to happen for end of this year, most likely by next year. But hiking the rate, that could be also another thing. So we're going to look at the inflation report as well. So decision days so far in this year, okay, this year has maintained the interest rate, right? 3.5 to 3.75. Okay, 5 consecutive times this year so far. Okay, and then I think next month as well, most likely they will continue to maintain the rates. Okay, and then there is a 34.8% chance of a rate hike from 3.75 to 4%. So this is the thing. So if they're going to increase the interest rate, it's going to be bad for the market. Then if you look at the US stock market as well, already at the extreme peak. Okay, so how much damage is going to happen later on? Right, for not only crypto, right, but you look at the stock market as well, already at the extreme high. So if stock market goes down, okay, bloodbath, and then other asset class also will be affected as well. Okay, right. So that's the thing. Okay, so the three fact holds three very different crypto reactions. Okay, that we're going to see later on. All right. All right, because there are a lot of things that we have to take account, not only the FOMC. Okay, and then look at the ETF as well. Then, of course, talking about US Treasury yields that the government is planning to buy back, right? So, yeah, so this is a thing to expect. And then, of course, moving on next, okay, talk about the fear and greed index. Okay, so the fear and greed index right now, I think we're already hitting the greed for now. It's been a while since we are at fear. So I think this could be the market correction since everyone is really entering. Everyone have shifted from being a bear and suddenly being a bull, mentioning that the bottom is already in and we are no longer going to test back at that mode. So you can see the confidence have totally shifted. And most likely, maybe there could be another correction that is coming in. Okay, so an October style crash incoming. Maybe it could be. Okay, should we see or not? So first thing is next month, the FOMC. Okay, the tone, will it be hawkish or bullish again? So it's going to be hawkish, and then I think it's going to add more damage to the market. So is the crypto market becoming too bullish too soon? Okay, right? So yeah, possible. Okay, so the chart also shows that a similarly high level of greed has occurred right before the BTC price of 30%, plus correction in October last year as well. Okay, so this was the last peak, isn't it? October, the 1010 incident went down. But this is the total market cap for crypto. So now we are also at this level also, local high, local peak as well. Okay, so possible there could be a pullback. So this, in short, the situation in the market is looking very much like the setup for the October breakdown. Okay. In addition, there is now a clear risk of profit taking as the overbought RSI also appears in the market. So yeah, market overheated, RSI level possible overbought as well. Okay, so the crypto market sentiment hasn't hit peak rate yet. So are you really going to wait until extreme rate and then only start to take profits? Right? Or do you want to take profits now and then wait for the next setup? But that's the thing. Now we can see a lot of people are getting more confident, getting more booked with their decision. Okay. Even on Twitter, crypto space, okay, like Michael Saylor also posting the video, send the bears over. Okay, we are going up higher. Okay, he's not willing to give up. Right, very, very confident now with Michael Saylor. Okay, so that's the thing. Market tends to surprise people. Okay, right. Okay, so we can see here, the institutional demand drives this divergence. So this is by social value. So it is currently at a level of over 1B, flowing into spot Bitcoin ETF. Okay, alongside Bitcoin's 21% value. Okay, so this is the Coinbase Premium Index. How much are you willing to pay for Bitcoin? Okay, that is what's going to matter later on. Okay, for those people who are in Coinbase, who are actually buying the ETF as well. Okay, all right. So in other words, the US investor demand did not participate on the level of the previous waves of buying, which makes way for higher spot buying to the next level. So the bearish scenario with crypto market sentiment at the level of 75 is not fully accurate. Okay, as there is still potential for the increase of the demand to level at extreme. Yeah, possible we could also hit extreme rate. One more last push. Like what you're saying now, I think we are hovering at 78. Maybe it could continue to push to 81, 82. Or possible even hit 83. And probably wait all the way up. People think that, oh, this is it. So they go in and then one more flash crash down. So that could be the case. It could be a very brutal crash if this is going to happen. Okay. So crypto market sentiment is getting overheated. Okay. Already, you know that it is already above 70. Okay. And if you look at the ETF and US investor demand are still below October levels, which means what? Conviction is still not here yet. Right? The transition from bear to bull is not there yet. What you're saying right now is the OGs, people like us who are already in the market for 2-3 cycles already. But the real deal here is the people, the public, the retail. They do not have that conviction yet. So leaving room for more buying and stronger sentiment. Right? So this is the key that you have to take in. Okay. And then talking about alt season. So many here and there, alt season this, alt season that. But I'm telling you right now, it's still all about Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes the move. Again, Bitcoin's dumps, your alts also will be getting crushed heavily. Okay. So where is this thing is going to lead? Because we can see the ETH and Bitcoin chart is slowly starting to take a turn there, slowly starting to see some monstrous move with the descending channel and slowly waiting to break towards the upside. Okay. But should we see another style of 2021 alt season? That's the thing. Or it is too early. Because I feel it is too early to say that it's alt season in a bear market, transitioning to a bull at the moment. Okay. So even if you buy alts now, does it make any difference? Possible not. Okay. Buying at this level also incur a lot of risk. Okay. You're going to be very choosy and picky with the alts, especially if buying at this level. Even though the risk to reward, the reward seems to favor. But then again, you might be catching a falling knife. Okay. So as the crypto market shows visible signs of recovery in a bearish slump. So this is by Crypto Quant, another on-chain analyst. Okay. So analysts highlighted how the altcoin market has suddenly shown several signs of shifts from a prolonged bearish phase to early bullish phase. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, mid and small cap in particular rose the fastest. Okay. So probably this could be outside the top 10, top 20. Micro cap coins like memes. Yeah, memes, Farm.Fund on Solana ecosystem, or probably chain like Robinhood or Base. These are the coins that are actually moving fast. But easy come, easy go. Right? Okay. So these are the ones that create a lot of risk. Yeah. In, fast out. Okay. All right, so you look here, the on-chain metric 200-day moving average further confirm this sentiment with the altcoins facing the indicator. Okay, and then here is worth pointing out that back in November, okay, roughly 80 to 85% of Binance system altcoins were trading below their 200-day moving average. So now we are here, right? More than half of the altcoins on Binance are trading back above the 200-day moving average. So we can see retail slowly starts to come in. Okay, probably this could be a short-term thing. Okay, and what else to watch as well? Okay, so around 56% of those altcoins were trading above their 200-day moving average. That's implied more than half are now once again showing bullish long-term price structure. But again, what are the alts that you should be looking for or you should be buying? Because these are also noise that are in the market. Okay, those micro cap coins, small altcoins, small meme coins that are actually popping. Okay, but those top 10, top 20, conservative one are waiting for the turn as well to rally. Right? So I've seen the like of Hyperliquid, Solana. Okay, so these are the conservative coins are really showing signs of reversal or showing strengths. Okay, based on their utility as well. Okay, then of course talk about Donald Trump's statement was on 19th August, already past last month, right? Right, ignite the reversal. Okay, and then supporting of the US purchasing substantial amounts of BTC. It's called for Congress to pass the tariff. So this actually boosts a lot for the crypto market. Okay, but how much conviction that this market will continue to sustain after this speech? Okay, so this is accompanied by his claim that his administration had effectively ended the US government previous war on crypto. Now the only thing is the Clarity Act, right? This is finally nail in the coffin. That's why it actually attracts more floodgates coming to crypto to invest, okay, to do business without having any gray area or any types of challenges. Okay, because currently right now before the Clarity Act, we have seen a lot of situation, okay, like scams, this and that. Okay, you cannot introduce staking, you cannot offer this to your client, you cannot have this ETF, this and that, no staking involved. So these are the things. So with Clarity Act comes in, it actually clears the path for investors, okay, for retail, whoever who wants to do the business with crypto. Okay, talk about BTC dominance as well. Like I said, dominance is still trending towards the upside. Okay, it's still leading indicator. Okay, before your alt is going to pop. So if Bitcoin dominance goes up, okay, your alts will probably back, okay, and probably might take a breather. Okay, so what we can see in this space, many altcoins could back Bitcoin even if they are still rising in price. Okay, now we see this relative weakness as an opportunity because once Bitcoin dominance eventually reaches a peak and starts falling, that's when you see capital rotation, right? From BTC moving back to the top 10, top 20, like ETH, Solana, okay, hyperliquid, okay, and then it's only going into the large, mid, small cap. And that's how it looks. So potentially causing them to outperform Bitcoin short. Okay, so at the moment, it's not happening yet. I think it is still Bitcoin season at the moment. Okay, what you're saying, yeah, is just a overflowing of sentiment from BTC to alts at the moment. But of course, BTC, all eyes on BTC because alts is still down 90%. So how can you say it's alt season? Right? You want to see alt season? One alt can easily hit a minimum of 10x during the last two cycles, like 2017. Okay, before 2017, okay, we can see the likes of Ripples, Cardano. Okay, so many of these coins really did massive gains, 1000x. You put like $50 and 50K, the kind of life-changing wealth. Now you can't be able to get that anymore. Conservatively, maybe 2x, 5x, if you're lucky, 10x right now. Right? Because this is not the same as last previous cycle anymore. And you have to be very, very cautious and you have to do a lot of research on which are the outs that you're going to hold for this upcoming bull run. Okay, so alt season may be around the corner, even though the market did not support at the time. Then, in fact, many analysts and traders in the crypto space has predicted that 2026 will be the biggest altcoin season since 2021. So I'm not sure how is this going to be bigger altcoin season. I'm still yet to see. Because even last year as well, okay, before the bull run ends, we do not really see that kind of impact since Trump also took over. Okay, nothing much, nothing that great or significant, okay, compared to the last 2017, 2021 type of op season. So as of now, we gotta stay conservative, plan and strategize. How do you want to really buy or dollar cost average on your position rather than hoping, expecting this type of op season, right? So that's the thing. And then we talk about scenarios. Okay, so I think a lot of people caught off that on the Bitcoin price and of course the reversal from the Bitcoin bottom, so-called Bitcoin bottom. But again, it's hard to tell that the bottom is already in unless it broke a certain structure. So two scenarios say that we're going to look at. Scenario one, cycle low could be in already by the looks of it as of 1st of July. A higher low retest will be the next buy opportunity. Now, this is where everybody is waiting right now. Okay, people were asking me, is this the bottom? Thought we already discussed, we have already strategized that we're going to wait until October. But now the things have changed. So you got to really plan and re-strategize again how you're going to enter. Rather than you going to wait for October, wait for Bitcoin comes back to 40K, 33. You don't expect based on your price expectation on the bottom You enter or you buy based on what the market offers you. So that's the thing. Okay. So one clue that I'm getting toward this scenario is that we don't have much time before a typical 12-month bear market, but there's only about 6 weeks remaining. So in this hypothetical situation, there just wouldn't be enough time to break through all the newly created support levels in order to get down to fresh lows. And then given about 70% odds for scenario 1, which is quite likely that the bottom is soon. Now, scenario 2, bottom may not be in yet. New cycle low later this year. So the obvious debunk of scenario 1 logic is that it doesn't have to be exactly 12 months, but it could go longer, just it could go shorter. So those who think bottom could be in already, as in scenario 1, are already making this assumption because it will be an 8-month bear market instead of 12. So it could be shorter, but why wouldn't it take longer? Okay, so the chances is only 30% based on what's happening right now. Okay, so all eyes on September. How significant is the pullback? So if we revisit 70, 72, again, I think that could be the best buying opportunity or DCA strategy. Okay, that you should be starting to nibble or even start to deploy your dry powder because you don't want to wait anymore. After all, you're going to DCA for the following month, right? So might as well you enter, okay, and start planning rather than hoping and waiting to go 40K, 30K. Now if you reach below 60K, I will start to buy. You don't want that. You want to start placing your buy limit orders. Okay, start placing already. Don't wait until when the price reach, then only you start enter. So you don't want that to happen again. Okay, so nobody knows for sure what will happen. Okay, everyone is just a spectator as of now. So we can't control the market. We don't know what's going to happen. But these are the two scenarios at the moment. Two likelihood scenarios, but scenario 1 it seems much more favorable, 70% odd chance that the bottom could be in. Okay, so this is a scenario here. Okay, price already at what 79, 80K. We might get one more last pull. I think one more last pull, and then if we consolidate around this range, right, slightly below, let's say 60 plus or below 69K. Now still consolidate out. Then that's where I think possible for a reversal back up. Okay, that's the thing. Now, if the pullback, okay, broke all this structure at 60K level, continue to go down again. That's where you're going to see, okay, whether or not should we see a recovery or should we see a chance to get back somewhere below the 60K level to actually DCA properly. Because if we go to scenario 1, how much time does the market need us to really DCA? And how many percent of your dry powder that you will be entering? That could be another thing again. Because if you have that kind of expectation for DCA only to allocate, okay, let's say you allocate only 1 month. Within 1 month, September, and then October, November already start going up. So how much time left or how much of capital or percentage that we will need to deploy if it doesn't go back down to 60K, if it stays around 70, 72, right? Consolidate. Okay, that's the challenge right now for those who really miss this level, right? So this is the thing. Then, okay, talk about BTC risk index and the USDT dominance. So finally, right now, we look at the Bitcoin risk index is at low risk, which means more risk on. A transition from the stables to risk on assets, right? Okay, you can see that USDT dominance have also breaking the critical support that sustain the defensive regime for most people. So yeah, it really tends to be like that. So now we can see the capital have really shifted. More people are deploying their dry powder to buy alt and BTC. So capital is leaving protection and moving into development. Risk on mode has turned on. So people are taking more risk to actually buy BTC and alts. Right? Decisive breakdown confirm this is no longer just a bear market rally, but a regime shift. Okay, so you can see what's happening now. This was the October crash index, the peak of the Bitcoin price at 126K. Right? Then we entered a bear market confirmation. Okay, this is where the setup, right? 2026 early break. When you go down, and then finally the risk index now is at 0. Okay, and look at the dominance, USD dominance as well. Slowly at the peak and now coming back to critical support. So let's see, will it continue to break down? Okay, or we should see a short-term pullback for crypto. Okay, so this is the thing, risk appetite have totally increased. Okay, capital rotation also have moved to risk on. Okay, so we know that where is the money is right now, capital rotation. And then moving on next with Airdrop. Okay. So we can see what's happening now. Okay, with the Airdrop. Okay, so if you are doing this Kano source, tracker is now live. If you're eligible, if you're holding Kano source or Propkins, I think this is the NFT. And you want to check your screenshot if you've been doing this Airdrop. NFT holders and stickers. Okay. And then next, you have this Commons Made drop is now live as well. You've been doing this. Okay. Peanuts. 20K CMNS worth about $93. Okay. So this is the thing. Airdrops in the bear market is not so good. Right? During the bull run, that's why you see a lot of these companies will start to promote, will start to shield their project, encourage people to do testnet, transact, or to even stake. Right? So we've seen many. So Soltis 5, okay, season 2 is now live. You want to check, you want to claim as well. You've been doing this. You got vesting as well, 6 or 9 months. So there's a lot of catch here. So again, the cost of opportunity here. Okay. And then what else? Online layer. Okay, I think this one we waited since 2 years back. Now only they adopt. Okay. I think if you've been staking, if you've been transacting on the mainnet on Ethereum or any chains on layer 2, okay, you might want to check your eligibility. I think the claim is until 13th of September. Date on. So you want to check claim. Okay. And yeah, 0.023 cents. I think right now, I think it's even down, okay, for alignment. And then moving on next with the coin market cap, you can see right now, we see at 78.3, 0.2456, Ripple 1.39, Solar at 96, so it went up about 102. Hyperliquid $81 sitting more. Okay. So then we move on next with the technicals. Now we can see the dominance. What's happening now with dominance? Still below the middle band. We're looking at it, it's looking set to break. And then we'll look at the top EV here as well. 64.54. And then look at the weekly time frame. Now, it's set to break higher. I think probably we could bottom here. Okay. For the dominance. And then slowly looking up to this level. 16.9. Now, and then on daily, higher highs, high lows, higher highs again. So overall, this setup is actually looking towards the upside. Okay, then of course this level here, we're at 16.4. Look at ETH against Bitcoin. So you can see here on the money time frame. Okay, you notice this setup trend break up past the middle band, descending. And then now it's looking for a break towards the upside. So this one could be crucial. All eyes on dominance for BTC and how this thing is going to play out later on for the market. Okay, or should we see another breakdown? So another breakdown, we're going to look into this level as well. 2347, and then the lower will be here at 1971. By the looks of it, it's looking set a bit higher, but let's see. Now rejected below the top limit. So the next pullback probably will take back at the band. Okay, the band here at 2892. Look at daily higher highs, creating a higher low now. So far momentum, pullback, descending, waiting for a break. Let's see whether this break up or not will continue to test back in the middle band here at 3043. Okay, so that's ETH against Bitcoin, looking on to BTC. So we had BTC right now. We're still downtrend. Right? Look at monthly as well. Still at the sell zone. And still below this level here at 2.4. That is the critical resistance that needs to break. And then we have so many here to watch. The middle band here for the monthly. 87.9. Okay. And then we look at weekly now. What is weekly doing? Down consolidation pump. So all these levels, you got a make sure 82.2 to break, and then 87.2. So as of now, it's still hovering here. So where's the next level? Go back here, 72.9. And then probably leading up back to the middle band here at 70K. So that's why I say 70, 72. Okay, if we get another bonus, it comes back down again here. I think this will be a great steal for 65K. Coming back down here again will be another opportunity to really start to, BCE for BTC alone. We are not talking about ops here. Then on daily momentum, pullback, consolidation. You can see a huge wick here. Market exhausted. So you know that most likely market might consolidate, pull back one more last round, and then we'll see where the consolidation is. Then only you will make a decision whether you want to enter or not, okay, to start accumulating. Now, price also starting to have weakness, exhausted, break below the middle band. It's looking set to hit lower. Okay, daily as well. So 72.9, 70K. Okay, for BTC. Look at ETH. So ETH also pretty much the same, down, pullback, still below the middle band here at 635. We got the level here at 1.8. Look at the time frame, also see pump, and then this is the level here. It needs to maintain, right? 2379. The next resistance is where? Here. This level here. There's about 2.8. So 2.8K for H. And then look at DD. Momentum, pullback, consolidation, sideways. Then look at H4. Similar as well. Okay. So probably you might view for correction. More ETH, BTC, of course, the rest of the alts as well. Okay, then moving on next to the alts. Let's see what happened to STX, Stacks, USDT. I'm going to look into few alts before we close. Look at Stacks, all-time highs at 3.85. Now it's currently down at 93%. So the lows was at 96%. So come back, descending break. Now go back to the sell zone. Okay. All right. So this is the level here. It needs to break above at 21 cents. Then continuation towards the upside, probably going to look into the 47 cents. Then we're going to look at weekly now. See here, descending break. So this is, if you look at the bigger time frame, you see a downtrend, right? 90% down. Daily. How many candles here since what? 19th August. This was a Trump speech. How many percent here? I think about 144% from the 19th August speech. Okay. Ascending, higher highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. Okay, for stacks. So I think stacks most likely to come back down. This is a local high. This high to the low here. The retracement probably a figure of about 0.22 at the golden ratio at 20 cents as well. 20 cents and 2 cents for stacks. Okay, and then next we're going to see here is the RO or SPX 6900. Right here. Okay. So 52 cents, you can see here, still downtrend for SPX 6900. Next level I'm going to watch is here, 70 cents. So the current resistance is here. Now it's slowly looking. Let's see, can maintain at this level here at 5 cents. So the lows was here, 26. Look at it, okay? Down consolidation, now slowly starting to break. Now we're going to see whether or not this level can be at 48 cents. So the 48 cents is the level of spot, and come back down on the middle band here at 27 cents. Okay. Daily now, you see, higher highs, high lows, high highs. So your 48 cents is next, and then continuation probably bring you down at least at the previous spot for SPX. Okay, and then what else? Here, stacks. Let's look at Polygon. Polygon is the altcoin in the last 2 cycles. We've seen huge. So it's down. All-time high is at 99 cents, and now it's at 11 cents. So it's about 8%. And 3% was a move. Okay, so here, it's not much here. It's 70 cents. Okay, so now you can see down descending with a short-term lower high. So a lot to recover here because the ups are just popping at the moment. It's just waking up. Then look at weekly. I'm going to say weekly now, descending break. So a lot to watch on Polygon here. Then this level here as well, this level of support also got pushed at 10 cents. And then look at the momentum pullback. So this pullback probably will give you back around here, 10 cents. We look at H4. So for hourly, you can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, now creating a higher low. Now I have already broke past the momentum for H4. So probably we're going to look again and see whether will it invalidate or will it continue structure towards the upside for Polygon. All right, so that's all I have for tonight, guys. Thanks.